how many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Тюн, выбрать или убрать. Хорошо, доступный маневр. Ну и этот можно еще. Ничего себе, у него кабинетик такой.
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. Unfortunately, I am now confronted with another problem, which I would rather have done without. You see, last night, Miss Adams also went missing.
Так, сказать, что она не исчезла, узнать подробности.
And why is that? Can you tell me more?
I have had my people searching for her all over the island. Alas, to no avail. It so happens that both her mental and her physical health are extremely fragile. I'm worried that the same thing happened to her as to your mother. Also, I would appreciate it very much if you could tell me what you were doing on the floor in her room in the early hours
It's quite
of the morning.
normal. I can explain everything.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. You see, Sir Gregory is about to arrive, and he's taken Elizabeth's disappearance very, very seriously. Please, reassure him so that we can talk about your mother.
William, I would like to see you a moment before we begin. In private.
Let's step outside a moment. Louis, this will only take a few moments.
Конечно, я комнату обыщу, вы шо? Тут даже можно не думать. Так, тут изложены свидетельские показания Бонапарта и Хиллсброу. Интересно. Докажите свою невиновность. Ага, а в чем?
Please, sit back down, Louis.
This sort of behavior is not working in your favor, young man.
Gregory, Louis told me we needn't be concerned.
Of course. Monsieur de Richet, the situation seems to escape your grasp, so I won't beat about the bush. Did you kill Elizabeth Adams?
What? Elizabeth is dead?
No. Now let us remain calm. We do not yet know, Gregory, precisely what has happened to our poor Elizabeth.
I beg your pardon? So what are you accusing me of then?
We must remain calm, Gregory. We have found no evidence that would suggest that Elizabeth has been murdered. For the time being, she has only disappeared. Let's stick to the facts, if you please.
Well, where is she then?
With all due respect, gentlemen, what does any of this have to do with you? It seems to me that Miss Adams is
Так,
free to do
походу,
whatever she
что-то
pleases,
не
isn't
то.
she?
No, Louis. Miss Adams was not free to do as she pleased.
No, Louis. You see, Elizabeth came here at my request in order to get some rest. Certainly not so she could disappear in the middle of the night on a whim. Please stop all of your verbal gymnastics. We can see very well that you still haven't answered the question. Damnation, William. This is a fiasco. Sir, you don't seem to realize just how serious this is.
Let's try and remain calm, Gregory. In any case, it would be far better if Elizabeth really has left the island, as Louis says. Why do you think she wanted to leave?
Так, что ж тут надо выбрать-то? Так, она ощущала себя в западне.
She was
Ладно,
terrorized by
отвечу
my
так.
mother's presence here. Just the thought of coming face to face with her was unbearable.
Did she tell you why?
Yes, she brought the subject up.
I'm sorry, Louis. It couldn't have been easy to hear.
For your sake, I sincerely hope that she got there safely. Monsieur de Richet, I apologize if my words seemed a little abrupt. I dare not think what would happen if Elizabeth came across your mother on the island. Your generosity may well cost you dearly.
I understand, my lord. I certainly regret it.
You don't need us for any of this. So come along, Monsieur Peru. We are leaving.
Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
She seems to be making every effort to steer clear of your guests.
What do you mean?
For the past few weeks, my mother's been playing cat and mouse, if you will. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she's trying to avoid someone. The question is, who?
And in your opinion, would she be the cat or the mouse?
Ну, думаю, скорее всего,
I'd
мышь.
like to answer the cat, but unfortunately I'm increasingly worried that she's in fact the mouse.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
Вы помогаете безвестному лейтенанту или моя мать продавала оружие? Думаю,
Isn't
так.
Bonaparte a bit young to deserve so much attention?
Well, you come straight to the point. I like that. Indeed, if you knew just how much you remind me of him. Trust me, I'll wager that Monsieur Napoleon will soon prove himself. I'm working on it, at least. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, Thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what he said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
Так, без понятия, и она искала покупателя. Ну, выберу покупателя, я только не знаю какого.
She was looking for someone.
What do you mean?
In Paris, we were working on a smuggling case to do with occult objects. We had just arrested a dealer who intended to go to you to meet a buyer. My mother was here to find out to whom he intended to sell his stolen treasure.
Oh. What was the name of your dealer?
Так, фон Борхерт, фон Брохерт и фон Бребис. Ага. Типа я помню вроде. Борхерт, Брохерт. Ну,
The
Борхерт
dealer was
выберу.
called von Burchard. As for the buyer, he was unknown to us.
No, I don't know anything about that. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Она избегает встречи с кем-то, она что-то обнаружила. Ну да,
Maybe
что-то
she
обнаружила
found something
по-любому.
What do you mean?
My mother has a gift for investigating. If she had picked up a lead, nothing would have stopped her.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
А вот это уже интересно.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation, until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
One last thing, although I don't know if there is a connection.
I'm listening.
A gate was forced the other night near the wharf. Nothing serious, just a few small things damaged.
Прошлой ночью кто-то проник за ворота на пристани. Ага.
Sorry,
это ж
my lord,
я-то, это когда я
but I was
приехал,
searching for
наверное.
leads to my mother. I thought I was hot on her trail and didn't take any precautions.
Well, you could have reported it to a servant. But never mind. I shall put it down to your ardor and anxiety. However, please try to respect my state in future.
I certainly will. Please accept my sincerest apologies.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
The room was just opposite Mortimer's study.
Найдите башенную комнату. И он сказал, комната напротив комнаты Мортимера. Так. Так это есть? Да, она сразу есть, понятно.
Carmelite water.
Так, что тут такого еще полезного? Картина какая-то.
What is this disc? Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
Вот это и все эти. Все исследования о диске.
Honey, there are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Она пишет, нужно найти более безопасный способ общаться. Кто-то напал на наш след. Положись на мою веру и мечника. В мечника. Что, искать какого-то мечника нам тогда надо.
The door appears to be locked on the other side. I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor.
Так, подумать, как ее открыть. Применить диск можно. Ага, прикольно.
It's open.
Что, поищем мечника здесь. Вон какая-то шкатулочка.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Ого, сколько очков забрали. взломал на свою голову.
The New Testament. This volume dates from the first edition by Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. The pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible. This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord.
Так, и что тут? Ну, что-нибудь сейчас прочтем. Так, о, так. Евангелие от Матфея, от Луки, ой, от кого тут только нету. О, господи, да тут еще и стихов. Ох ты, мать твою за ногу. Так, Иаков, первое послание Петра, Богослова. Послание Иоанна. Господи, вот это тут хлама.
I guess I'll just come back later.
Ай, хрен с ним, погнали.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in Jordan. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And as they did eat,
Хоть где-то
Jesus took
Библию
bread
почитаю.
and blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to them, and said, Take, eat, this is my body. And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet. Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem.
Хреново, что оно, конечно, как-то не отмечается.
He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God.
Хоть бы как-то то, что я уже прочитал, отмечали. Вот так, а ну. Так, Марка. Тут я все прочитал, вот Иоанна.
And he,
Хоть бы
bearing
как-то,
his
ну,
cross,
отмечали,
went
там, я не
forth
знаю,
into a
серым
place
цветом
called
вот
the
прочитал, и
place of
оно
the
типа
skull,
потускнело,
which is called
чтобы
in
было
Hebrew
понятно.
Golgotha. I and my Father are one. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and much people. And so many came and couldn't find the body of the Lord Jesus. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. Take heed.
Так,
that
ну
ye
скоро с
practice your
апостолами
justice
уже
before men,
закончим. Хоть
and be
что-то
saved
радует.
differently by
Да,
them.
тут, конечно, этих
Otherwise,
стихов
ye
вообще
shall have
вагон.
no reward of your Father which is in heaven. But Jesus turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, Daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith hath made thee whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh.
Так, остался у нас последний апостол. Это у нас Деяния Святых
And suddenly there
Апостолов,
came a sound from
понятно.
heaven like a rushing mighty wind,
and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there were 7 sons of one Skiva, a Jew and chief of the priests which did so. And he became very hungry, and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that?
Не зря книжку почитал, ладно. Видимо, это надо понимать буквально, наверное, это... Ну, наверное, надо буквально, я думаю, понимать.
Useful, but the what? The nightmare. Does that remind me of anything? Well, if it's a concept, I've got no idea what it is. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Так, ладно, присоединитесь к остальным гостям. Я не понял послание матушки, но это да, тут я согласен. Я мог найти переписку матушки и ее сообщника. В смысле? А что, то, что я книжку читал, это что, ничего не значит, что ли? Я что-то не пойму. Или надо было сначала комнату обыскать, а потом книжкой заняться? Что-то как-то непонятно.